Again, Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah, Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Okay, what we are about to is to clarify how can we reserve the balance between two rules in Islam, two facts. The first one, that women maintenance is 100% guaranteed by men without even working 1 minute. So her food is on her table and there is no need for her to look for it. This is fact. This is Sharia, one of the Sharia facts in Islam, that women, they are fully guaranteed their living. So there is no worries at all. This maintenance provided by whom? By men. Okay, what if the men, talking who are the men? Fathers, husbands, sons, and of course brothers. This responsibility is moving from one another. So in all means, in all her life, she is fully served by that. No question. If those men could not do it, but not because they can't, they didn't do it because they are not willing to. In this case, they are transgressing Islam. This is haram. This is unlawful. They will be counted in Allah's eyes. Only no. According to Islamic law, the state should count upon them. This is why you can easily wage some, your question to the judge, and the judge, he is going to follow your husband. You don't need to get divorced to reach this or to ask for this. You can even ask for that while you are sitting in his home, in your husband's house. You can ask for that, and you can raise your request, your need to the judge, and the judge is going to pursue that for you. So you don't need to get divorced to get there. This is important. Okay? This is one thing. This is deep, however. So there is many issues coming out from this point. Okay? And hopefully we may discuss. The second thing, your father. While you are alone, sitting single in your father's house, whether you are 20 years or 60 years old or 5 years old, in all phases of your life, he is responsible for you. He has to provide for you. Okay. The other rule, that I can provide for myself as a woman. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guaranteed for me the right to go out and work and to earn my own money. Does this nullify the first one? No. The meaning, my money is mine. If I want to give some out, to give out some of those money, my money, to my husband, to my father, to my brothers, to my sons, this is under the umbrella of charity, sadaqah. So it is volunteer charity, volunteer sadaqah, and you will be rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that. For two things, that you gave to people, and the other thing, it was coming out of your intention, of your heart. Nobody asked you to do it. It wasn't asked by law, by Sharia, that it is a must, you have to pay for that. You done this willingly. So in this case, you have two reasons to get rewarded for. Okay? That you gave and why you give. These two things are important. Coming to men. They are provided for you. It is a must. They have to. It is obligatory upon them. Okay. If they don't, they are transgressor again. If they do, they will be rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But now they are rewarded because they done something Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked for, command them for. The meaning fulfilling Allah's order. Although it is a must, just like praying your salah. Okay? Extra salah, nafila, so you will be rewarded more because you done it out of your own choice, not because it is a must. You see how I'm making this comparison between the two acts. Okay? However, does this again nullify that I can provide for myself? Yes, I can. Can I go and seek a job? Yes. Is it to men to say, no, you stay home, don't work, and you have to be content with what I'm providing you with? This is a big question. Again, here we have more than one interest. Talking about husbands and wife, for example, here we have more than one interest, which is the children, if there is children in the house, okay? Looking after the household, and it is between two brackets and two questions. Is it all on my shoulder? No, it is not. No, it is not. But in general, women, they are there. They are sitting on those houses, okay? And men, they are providing for them. Is it obligatory upon women? Well, the fuqaha gone different directions, so we have different answers for that. One of them, it is to say, following what is called al-urf, which is traditions and customs, okay? Well-known customs. So if the customs in general says that the sound customs approved by people, that this woman in such class, she used to serve herself and others, so she can do the same according to those fuqaha in her house, in her husband's house, and serving him, the meaning serving herself, serving her children, and serving him. According to those fuqaha, if she did not do that, she is a transgressor. And in this case, they gone really far, some of them, that he can beat her up if she did not do that. This is too far, okay? Is such opinion approved by other fuqaha? No. Why? Because we have our prophetic tradition, the sunnah. The sound sunnah says that we have several wives of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and most of them, they have servants. Most, not all. Even with that, the Prophet used to serve himself. To serve himself. Not only that, Aisha radiallahu anha said, when she was asked about what is the Prophet, what the Prophet does when he is at home. So she answered this. Please focus upon this. The first part of the answer was, he is doing exactly what the rest of you do. So the tradition was that the Prophet is doing exactly what you men do in your own houses. Then she carried on saying, when he is in his house, he used to serve the people of the house. So he used to serve, to go outside and help people, The minute he is in, again, he is helping the people inside his house. So indoors, outdoors, the Prophet was helping. Yes, we have many narrations to say that the Prophet was cooking, help in cooking when the occasions that we have cooked, people cooking, the Prophet was helping there. Sitting on fire under those big jars, and he was, on his knees, mashallah, subhanallah, our Prophet. Just plowing, because we need some air there. Remember those kind of fires, to build such fire. However, the other thing that she said in another narration, that the Prophet used to sew his clothes. And she mentioned the hardest one, his shoe, because it was leather. He used to sew that. And he used to sew his clothes. يخيط ثوبه ويرقع نعله. To fix his shoe, sewing, or in another way, sewing his own clothes. Even his cup, which was from leather, he used to fix it from time to time, to drink with it. So it wasn't woman's job all the time, or the task excluded, upon the head of woman and upon the shoulder of woman to do. So again, reminding you the first part, he was doing exactly what you used to do in your own houses. So it wasn't only the Prophet who used to do that. It was the men, even at that time. All the men? No. Again, we have some wealthy people, we have ordinary people, and we have poor people. 3. And in those 3, we have different narrations. Coming to the narration of Fatima radiallahu anha, the daughter of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, we are far from providing now. We are in different story, but they are all, backing each other. In this story, Ali ibn Abi Talib, he was the husband of Fatima. And Fatima radiallahu anha, she used to clean the house. According to some narrations, she was complaining from doing that in front of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We have 2 narrations about this occasion. The first one saying that it was a kind of dispute between Fatima and her mother-in-law. Okay? Actually, Imam al-Zahabi is with this narration. So the dispute wasn't between Fatima and Ali, the husband, it was between Fatima and her mother-in-law. Okay? The other narration says no, the problem was between Fatima and her husband Ali. So the Prophet, they came to the Prophet, when it was about Ali and Fatima, the Prophet judged that day that you Ali outdoor and Fatima indoors. The meaning, it is just to distribute that task, that everyone has his own task upon his shoulder, and to make sure that we both not too tired to move in our military life. Okay? The second thing was about Fatima and her mother-in-law, and it says that the Prophet said Fatima inside and the mother-in-law outside. Well, this occasion actually I didn't have much clarification about it from those books. But we have the other third one, which is in sound hadith, related it by al-Bukhari, that it was Ali and Fatima who came to the Prophet, and both were complaining from the hard life that they were living upon. And Fatima in specific, she said, she asked the father, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, that if there any girl, young girl to help, she will be happy by that. That the meaning, she wanted to have a gift a servant girl from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Of course, the Prophet didn't have any servant girls, you know, for himself. So what he said to her and Ali, whenever you come to your bed, before you sleep, you say Subhanallah 33 times, and La ilaha illallah 33 times, and Allahu Akbar 34 times. By saying that, the barakah, the blessing of saying that, Allah will give you the ability to finish all the work with extra strength. The meaning that you won't be that tired after that. Well, I've tried it. It's good. Really, it is. It is. Allah Alam how it works, but it works. So you need to do it every time you feel tired. Okay, what if I can have a servant? Well, this would be good as well. You see. So this doesn't say that you don't try to find some assistant from somebody else, again, or you share both the hard, tasks of the life as husband and wife. This is important. Distribute those tasks. This will help all to live on peacefully together without some of them get really angry, curse by anger, and after that, you don't know, when the volcano come out, erupts, you don't know where to run, you don't want to reach there. Yes, please.
Because sometimes the rhetoric we hear from sisters is, oh, my husband works so hard, he has to go outside the house, and, I want to spoil him, I want to do everything, let him just sit like a king when he comes home. But for me, I look at that and say, well, what are you doing at home? You're chasing after children, your job never ends. You can never come home and just put your feet up. You have to keep going, because when he comes home, you start another job, you put on another hat, and you continue. So I understand women are saying, thank you.
They do.
Yes.
That's fine.
Okay.
But you hear that a lot from sisters, like defending that why I wait on my husband when he comes home, as if the male job is so much more difficult than the female job, so therefore, no matter what I do at home, it's never equal to what he's doing outside the house. And we hear a lot of that from the sisters.
Well, two parts for this answer. The first one, scientifically speaking, you won't like that. See,
Okay.
even the light with me.
Subhanallah.
Again, according to this report, scientific report that I came across once, it says when it comes to the effort, counting the effort, and that we have certain measures in science to count those efforts. It seems that all our work in the household did not even reach to 1/3 when it compares to the hard work that men do outside. I said it already in advance, you won't like that. Okay? But in every single job, I said this is about counting. Hang on. It is about counting the energy that is put in such things. Okay. Now how I read it. This is the second part of the answer. In every single job, you have job description. So those jobs, see, those jobs which need and really press on your nerve, the wages for those jobs even higher. The meaning, any task under pressure costs you, not costing you energy that is counted. It costing you your nerves,
Stress.
Stress.
Mental.
Mental.
Not just this.
By that, this is the mercy of our Sharia, subhanallah. This is why, talking only about motherhood, this is why the Prophet, when he was approached by a question by a man, who is the most one to be my companion in this life. حق الناس, who has the right upon me to be his companion all the time, to look after him all the time. He said, your mom. The other time he said again, the answer was the same, your mom. The third answer was your mom. The fourth answer was your father. Why is that? Again, what you have questioned already, the question that you raised already, it is to do with customs and traditional mentality. It is the Arab way of thinking that doesn't matter which is the one who brought out such a child. The most important thing is the family name that the child is going to hold. It will be the male. Okay? This is not fair, because this is not exactly what is going with life, through the life, the hard time that women suffering. Our Sharia was looking there to this area which was missing by tradition, and people in general raised to forget about it. They used to forget. So our Sharia is a big reminder that those women, they deserve respect, compassion, and to look after them. Looking after you as a mother is by providing for you, not to worry about the food on the table, because you are fully busy with motherhood. And this is very true. So it is about balance. This is why, for example, it is in Islam. So if, again, before giving the example, which is really exists in Islam, if your husband, if you don't have any male relative to look after you, it is the state, the Islamic state, to look after you. Okay? What about motherhood? Come on. Umar ibn Khattab was, as he used to do, was, walking in the mid of the night, just watching how people really live, because he wanted to be close, that close to people, just walking among them. So he heard a woman, a cry of the baby. The baby was crying. And Umar ibn Khattab heard him. Now Umar was raised by Islam. Islam raised Umar upon different understanding of woman's job, which is motherhood, to respect. So Umar ibn Khattab knocked the door. He called, why is such a baby crying? She said, the lady of the house, leave me alone, man. She didn't know who was calling. I'm just trying to stop breastfeeding this child, because Umar ibn Khattab announced that every single baby who is not breastfeeding, he will has what? Amount of money from the state, just like what we call benefit. It is child benefit. So if he is not breastfeeding, he'll get that. So this mom, out of poverty, she decided to stop breastfeeding this child to earn those money. So Umar ibn Khattab, he cried. About that, he cried. And he went away immediately. And he said to one of the servants of his house, one of his fellows, go out now and you call upon that every single child, regardless, he has child benefit. So again, coming to work, I want to have a job, fine. Now we have these clashes, motherhood, needs, and going, and me as it is an ego. I want to work. Okay, I'm not fully content with my husband's money. When I'm not my self-esteem pushing me. I want to, yes, I want to go out and to work. I feel that I have a lot of energy and I want to participate in my community. Okay, what does stop me? I'm a mother. Two things. No, two plates. In the same hands, it is hard, you know. According to Sharia, I can work as long as a mom, it is about balance. I can work as long as I'm keeping the family in the right direction. Okay. Does anyone has a sound, you know, intellect will come to the finding that I will be fully perfect in my job and fully perfect in my motherhood at the same time with this energy that I've got? Well, some women do, but not all of them. Okay. I want to go to work and I want to make sure that my family, my children, they are safe and sound. So the state should provide some facilities to keep up with that. If the state needs such a woman, fine. But if my job is not very important to the community, yes, but still I want to work. Okay, but I want to stay as a mom because my children need me for 2, 3, 4 years. Before coming here, 2004, in Britain, Tony Blair announced that women who has motherhood, what do you say, relief? Going maternity, yes, thank you. In this case, they have to be paid by the government. Well, this is perfect. And this is, as I understand Islam, this is very Islamic. Because in this case, why should any woman here in Jordan to be torn apart that I can't be pregnant, I can't deliver children because if the moment I decide to stop working, there will be no wage coming to my table. No, I can't provide to myself and my children. So again, Islamically speaking, if we want women to be fully participant in states, in their communities, we have to provide for them. If they are not provided by somebody else, if it was hard upon the father or the husband to provide for those women, and this is the case, come on, this is the case now. Men alone, they can't provide for their families, they can't. So, going again to the first part of our story, men has to provide. What if they failed? Does this amount to, according to some fuqaha, related to some views related by Al-Qurtubi in his book of Tafsir, Ahkam al-Quran, he came out with certain views coming out from some fuqaha. He collected those views and it is there. He said, some views says that if husbands fall, they were in shortage, they could not provide to their wives, in this case, there is no qawama. According to their understanding, the previous understanding of qawama, that there is a say to men upon their wives. I won't say controlling, okay? But to say that the other word, it will be the husband. The minute he fall down and he has this short, he is broken, bankrupt. In this case, bye-bye husband. You are not fit enough to be my husband. You are not qawwam. Of course, this is very unpleasant understanding for the relationship between man, woman, and money. So again, I have the wealth. I can earn my money. Yes, my husband has to provide. He must. It is obligatory upon him to provide, but it does not nullify the fact I can lend a hand. And my hand will be considered as a charity. You know, this is important. I think this is the balance. This is how I look at it. And I urge women to look at it exactly the way that keep the family together, and compassionate is there and balance is there as well. And dignity is there for everyone. Okay, this is done. I think, إن شاء الله. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.